Hello and welcome to the Personalities of the Tarot podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Seer, and this is Season 2, Episode 10 for November 12th, 2023. This episode is for late Scorpio with the Seven of Cups, along with our move into the reign of the King of Wands, November 12th through December 10th or 11th, right in there. Of course, I've also got a tarot tip and your list of famous and infamous birthdays. So do that thing you do. Get comfy and chill, walk, drive your car, whatever it is you do while listening. And let's see how we can all get through the end of Scorpio, a time of death and transition, with ease and grace. Hey, just a reminder. I'm a highly rated tarot and psychic reader. I have 5 stars on Google, Fiverr, Groupon, Fresha, and I think even Yelp. I'm pretty sure on Yelp as well. If you've been interested in getting a reading, but maybe didn't know how to go about finding a psychic for you, check out my site at elizabethseer.com. I have posts about my work and personal experiences, and I even have something about psychic scammers, who unfortunately give us all a bad name. I have video meditations and links to a few products that I created to help out if you're also spiritually curious like me. Keep in mind you can only book a reading with me through my team at chickswithspiritualgifts.com or my personal site, elizabethseer.com. Late Scorpio, November 12th through the 21st, 22nd, depending on the sun's location in a given year, is working with Seven of Cups energy. As we know, sevens are refinement and structure of a concept, which are normally the result of decision making. The cups represent emotions, relationships, spirituality, and inspiration or creativity. As such, the very basic meaning of the Seven of Cups involves a decision. I actually call this card the emotional procrastination card. In a traditional Smith-Waite style tarot deck, you'll see someone standing in front of 7 cups. Each one is just filled with something inviting or exciting. And the person in front of these cups is having a really tough time deciding just which cup to choose because so many options are available. They might find themselves getting lost in the fantasy or the illusion of what each cup can offer, which can cause the decision-making to be overwhelming to the point of putting it off and just not dealing with it. Those born November 12th through the 21st may be big dreamers and fantasizers. Is that a word? Fantasizers? They may be as indecisive as a Libra. But unlike Libra, who weigh and see all sides of a situation using intellect and mental acumen and reason, the Seven of Cups personality can get lost in the emotion and fantasy of options, which can lead to indecision and overwhelming feelings. The bright side of all this is that these personalities are full of creative juices, which can flow from fantasy and dreaming. For their own emotional and mental health, the Seven of Cups Scorpio needs to stay active and allow inspiration to flow without drowning in it. The shadow side of this personality is obviously the potential to get so lost in illusion and falling victim to temptation. While these emotional artists should know that if you can dream it, you can do it, they also need to remember to be realistic and work within the physical realm of here and now. This, of course, also includes their relationships. They should avoid the temptation to have one foot in and one foot out while they wait for something better to come along. They need to commit to love and relationships and bring their dreams to life by allowing themselves to be both inspired and inspiring. For everyone of all signs during this last third of Scorpio, while you might feel indecisive and just can't with an issue or issues which require an emotional response, don't procrastinate. Whatever you do, don't procrastinate. Some decisions can be painful or just not any fun, so you might try to avoid dealing with them. However, if you do narrow down your choices, use common sense, and don't blow anything out of proportion, you can actually deal with your decisions and move on with your life. You may find yourself feeding your dreams and desires when other things may need attention during this time. If you avoid something long enough, you will eventually lose it from your life. So while you may have several options to tempt you, remember that many of those choices are likely delusions or illusions of the imagination. Relax, be realistic, focus and nurture your dreams without ignoring that which has to be done here and now. Know anybody male, female, non-binary who is born November 12th through December 10th or 11th? They fall within the realm of the King of Wands. This king is charismatic, bold, active, passionate, and generous. As previously discussed, though, we all have our dark side. And when manifesting his shadow side, the King of Wands can be evil, cruel, bigoted, brutal, hasty. He may have to revisit issues for which he's taken action without a lot of thought, like charging into battle but maybe forgetting his sword or armor, or just being overly aggressive when it's not called for. The King of Wands' personality is usually secure in business or profession, and they have a strength, both inner and outer, and that can be felt by others. They're usually strong and generous, but they can also be quite impulsive, especially when they're younger. They do enjoy their family time, and they're typically quite loyal to their family. Honestly, the King of Wands can be a good person to have on your side and a fierce enemy if he thinks you've wronged him, or especially someone he loves. I always say with the fire signs, suits of wands, people, they will be your best friend or your worst enemy. So for everyone of all signs during this reign of the King of Wands, it's a good time to harness and direct your energy positively. Practice committed intention, assertion, and action toward your desires. Basically, use this time to align your action with your will and your desire. Wands are the suit of manifesting, and the King of Wands has complete understanding of how to manifest through bold and creative action. It's time to be a visionary leader and an authority in your endeavors. Remember that you are the master of the life which you have created and continue to create in every moment. Are you spiritually curious? I've created some divination tools which might help you on your spiritual divination journey. In 2022, I designed and released the Elizabeth Seer Oracle. It's available as a casting set or in card format. I use both formats regularly in my work, and I love the everyday specificity of that divination tool. I also designed Seer's Casting Tarot this year, and I am loving working with the 78 symbols on discs, and I can't say enough about how thrilled I am with the casting board. This is a new way to enjoy an old divination tool. I have a cool customized version of the set, which also includes a bag and a casting cloth sewn for you by yours truly. Or you can buy the original set and board directly from the print-on-demand manufacturer. The links to purchase these and more products are at my website, elizabethseer.com. This week's tarot tip is upside down. I'm talking reversals. There are some differing schools of thought when it comes to reversals in the tarot. Some readers work with them, others don't. I personally don't work with reversals. I've always shuffled my cards upright and they don't come out reversed. I haven't found a need for reversals. However, when I do have a card show up in the upside down position, I see it as the opposite of its upright position and or removed or distant from the questioner's life, depending on my intuition and the other cards around it. So your tip this week is for you to decide whether or not you will work with reversals with your tarot and to get you thinking about how you'll handle them when you come across them in your readings. No matter what the purists like to think they know about the origins of tarot, divination, which is touching the divine, is a very personal matter. So there is no right or wrong answer when choosing to work with reversals or not, because this is your connection and understanding. It's the time of year for annual tarot readings. Because of their popularity over the years, I have a very limited number of these readings available in November and December as we usher in the new year. If you want to know what's coming up for you in 2024, head over to elizabethseer.com and check out my annual tarot readings for more information and pricing. For a very limited time, until my next episode drops or until I max out the number of readings I can handle, mention this podcast when you contact me through the site and receive 25% off any annual tarot reading. It's famous birthday time! Here's a random list of famous or infamous late Scorpio characters and celebrities born November 12th through the 21st. They embody or work with Seven of Cups energy. As always, this list does not mean I agree or disagree with a person's words or life choices. It's simply to educate on that late Scorpio personality, giving you the opportunity to compare public personas with their tarot and astrological correlations, for bad or good. Rocker Neil Young, Megan Mullally, Ryan Gosling, Booker T. Jones, Olympic gold medal winning gymnast Nadia Comaneci, Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Kimmel, the philosopher St. Augustine, Gary Marshall, Vanessa Bayer, Claude Monet, King Charles III, Shailene Woodley, Johnny Lee Miller, Georgia O'Keeffe, Lisa Bonet, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Pete Davidson, Martin Scorsese, Danny DeVito, RuPaul, Kevin Nealon, Owen Wilson, Chloe Sevigny, I think I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, Allison Janney, Meg Ryan, Jodie Foster, Adam Driver, Larry King, Calvin Klein, Joel McHale, astronomer Edwin Hubble, Goldie Hawn, Michael Strahan, Voltaire, the philosopher, not the fashion brand, Jimmy Simpson, I adore him as Liam McPoyle on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And finally, U.S. President Joe Biden. We have a new moon on November 13th. Remember, new moons are, energetically speaking, a good time to begin something new or create a fresh start for yourself. For me personally, I've reached out to a mediumship mentor in the UK, and I'm hoping to begin a new mentorship program soon to keep my skills sharp and take my work to the next level. Think about something new you'd like to do or need to start. New moon time is a great time to put some energy into it. Also keep in mind we're still in Scorpio, which is the sign ruled by the Death card. Go back to Season 2, Episode 8 to learn more about this energy. On the next episode, around November 22nd, we're moving into the sign of Sagittarius, which is covered by Temperance, and begins with the Eight of Wands in the first third of the sign. I always gotta show love for my chicks with spiritual gifts. So if you're interested in different intuitive readers or new and creative intuitive readings, like Sheila's Encaustic Wax art readings or Kimmy's AI art readings, make sure to check out my team at chickswithspiritualgifts.com and book a reading with Kimmy, Lindsay, Sheila, or me. Remember, as Scorpio comes to a close, it's good to dream and fantasize, but don't get so overwhelmed or lost in illusions now that nothing gets done. Narrow down your choices to those things which inspire. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, and move on with your life. You've been listening to Elizabeth Seer, and I'm grateful for this time with you.